Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Brandon Rosa, and welcome to episode 68 of the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. Every Monday, this podcast covers new game releases, the previous week's gaming news, and we all learn an Xbox-related fun fact together. This show is on YouTube and podcast services around the world, so please subscribe on your favorite and leave a review. Xboxin10.com, no numbers, is your quick source for links to all of our podcast destinations and social media profiles, which you can follow at Xboxin10. To start, let's talk game releases. The big games out last week include Okinawa Madness, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, The Outer Worlds Peril and Gorgon, Control Ultimate Edition, Borderlands 3 Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Fustercluck, and Tell Me Why Chapter 3. The games coming out this week include eFootball PES 2021, Johnny Rocket, Active Neurons 2, Pacer, Dog Duty, XP Parasite, Welcome to Elk, Commandos 2 Praetorians HD Remastered Double Pack, Crisis Remastered, WWE 2K Battlegrounds, Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle, Gores D, and The Blob's Fight. Now on to last week's biggest news stories, and we have 6 to cover this week. Number 1, and the biggest news story this show has had thus far, I'm going to read the entire article by Phil Spencer on Xbox Wire. Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X launched November 10th, starting at $24.99 a month with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and EA Play. Now more than ever, gaming plays an important role in our lives. As one of the greatest forms of creative expression, gaming sparks in our imagination and connects us to new worlds, stories, and our friends. On November 10th, a new generation of console gaming begins. That's when our vision becomes reality with the most performant, immersive, and compatible next-generation console gaming experiences, and the freedom to play your games with your friends anytime, anywhere. To empower you more than ever to jump into the next generation of gaming, today we confirmed Xbox Series X, our most powerful console ever made, and Xbox Series S, next generation performance and our smallest console ever built, at a more affordable price, launch globally November 10th with pre-orders starting on September 22nd. The expansion of Xbox All Access to 12 countries offering you a next generation Xbox, and 24 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate starting at $24.99 a month with no upfront costs. And EA Play comes to Xbox Game Pass at no additional cost, bringing the next generation of gaming to everyone on day one. We believe that access to the next generation of gaming should be available to everyone, and we know that price is an important factor for many of our fans. To complement Xbox Series X and invite more players into the next generation sooner, we built Xbox Series S, an all-digital next-gen console designed to deliver everything that is core to the next-generation gaming: faster load times, higher frame rates, and richer, more dynamic worlds in our smallest, sleekest Xbox ever. Developing two consoles in parallel from the beginning enables us to deliver the most powerful console ever in Xbox Series X, and makes next-gen gaming available and affordable to more players on day one with Xbox Series S. Empowering you with freedom and choice is core to everything we do at Xbox. In addition to the traditional option of purchasing the new generation of Xbox Series X and S at $499 and $299 respectively, we're expanding our Xbox All Access program to 12 countries this holiday, with more to come in 2021. Whether you are upgrading to the newest consoles or joining the Xbox family for the first time, Xbox All Access is the easiest way to get the best of Xbox. Xbox All Access provides an Xbox Series X or Series S, along with 24 months of the full Xbox Game Pass Ultimate experience. In total, that means you get access to the next generation Xbox console of your choice, over 100 high-quality games to play on console including next-gen optimized games, over 100 high-quality games to play on PC, an EA Play membership to play more than 60 of EA's biggest and best console and PC games, and over 100 games to play from the cloud. That's all with no upfront costs and a low monthly price. Xbox Series S will be available starting from $24.99 a month for 24 months, and Xbox Series X will be available starting from $34.99 a month for 24 months. The Ultimate Gaming membership goes beyond the console and keeps getting better. With the Xbox Game Pass community now over 10 million players, we know how critical it is that your friends can easily access and play the same games you can, and you've pushed us to make Xbox Game Pass the only membership with access to more than 100 games on your console, PC, and mobile. To provide even more value, we are teaming up with Electronic Arts to provide Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC members with an EA Play membership at no additional cost starting this holiday. This means Ultimate members can enjoy EA Play on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and Series S, and Windows 10 PCs, and Xbox Game Pass for PC members can get EA Play on Windows 10. In addition to the 100 plus games in the Xbox Game Pass library today, Ultimate and PC members will be able to play more than 60 of EA's biggest and best console and PC games like FIFA 20, Titanfall 2, and Need for Speed Heat, as well as titles from some of EA's most popular franchises like Battlefield, Mass Effect, Skate, and The Sims. Some of the best EA Play games will also be available for Ultimate members to play on Android devices from the cloud at no additional cost. And we are continuing to add great games and experiences to Xbox Game Pass for PC. Game Pass for PC and the Xbox app will become generally available on September 17th. The best place to play the biggest games. When Xbox Series X and Series S launches this November, it will herald a new generation of game experiences. Optimized games for Xbox Series X and Series S coming this year are built to take full advantage of our fastest consoles ever. On day one, you will be able to first enjoy the next-gen versions of the most anticipated games of the year, such as Gears Tactics, Tetris Effect Connected, and Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Watch Dogs Legion. Ubisoft is known for leveraging new technologies and the power of new hardware to deliver groundbreaking games, and we think you'll be blown away by the experience you'll have playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion on Xbox. Xbox Series S is designed around the same technology that will make these games and so many others look and feel incredible. In speaking to game developers, we identified the areas that are most difficult to scale effectively, including the CPU and I/O. And we made it easy to include Xbox Series S for developers who are targeting their experiences for Xbox Series X. Powered by the Xbox Velocity architecture, you can expect the same benefits from Xbox Series S, such as faster load times and quick resume. Xbox Series S also supports the same next-gen features, including HDMI 2.1, frame rates up to 120 frames per second, DirectX ray tracing and variable rate shading. It will also support spatial sound including Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision via streaming media apps like Disney+, Vudu, and Netflix at launch, plus Dolby Vision support for gaming will come first to our next-gen Xbox consoles in 2021. And the new Xbox consoles are also the only next-generation backward-compatible consoles that allow you to play thousands of games from 4 generations better than ever before, and empower you to play with friends wherever you want across your console, PC, and mobile devices. The best generation of gaming yet. Gaming has evolved in the last decade to make it easier, simpler, and more affordable for any player to make that first connection with a new world, a new story, or a new friend. With a family of next-gen Xbox consoles, even greater variety, and a value with Xbox Game Pass, and an expansion to Xbox All Access, we invite everyone to join us for this next generation of gaming. Whew, what a long story, and if you go back, listen to that again, and take a drink every time I say Xbox, Godspeed. All in all, and jokes aside, this was amazing news this week. I'm on record to initially not liking the idea of Project Lockhart, now known as Xbox Series S. But after seeing this launch, the price, and what they've been able to nail with the console, with the real true difference only being that the Series S will not be able to do native 4K but 1440p, I think Xbox is set up to have such a strong next generation. Given all the games with Sony, I still think that the PlayStation 5 will likely outsell all of Xbox, but I think they're all fighting different battles now. It is really cool to see that Xbox is focusing on subscriptions with Xbox Game Pass. They're not too worried about which console you buy, but that as long as you're in the Xbox ecosystem. Sony wants you to buy next-gen boxes, and Nintendo will continue to do their thing. Every gamer has all the options in the world, and it's never been a better time to play video games. I'm so excited to get my next-gen box on day one with the Xbox Series X on November 10th. And only 3 days before my birthday? Come on, Xbox, you couldn't throw me a bone and just release it on a Friday? Jokes aside, the sooner the better. Okay, number 2. Xbox Series X 1TB SSD expansion cards could cost over $200. Sean Carey at True Achievements writes, the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S are equipped with internal storage, but with the ever-swelling size of games files these days, yes, we're looking at you, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, external storage is almost a requirement at this point. Although you can use a standard external hard drive with your next-gen Xbox console for storage of Xbox Series X games to play them from an external device, you're going to need to buy a proprietary Xbox external SSD from Seagate. A new leak suggests that these proprietary devices could be pretty pricey. A leak which seems to have come from GameStop shows the Xbox Series X Seagate 1TB SSD expansion card priced at $219.99. A pretty hefty sum considering you can buy an Xbox Series S for just $80 more. Of course, this could be a placeholder price, so it's worth taking this note with a grain of salt, but a decent 1TB NVMe PC SSD isn't far off that price these days. Slap an Xbox logo on it to make it a proprietary drive, and suddenly this leaked price isn't outside of the realm of possibilities. This is one of the key accessories I've been eyeing for my next generation box. I'm going to buy one day one just so I don't have to worry about storage this generation, but I really want to know what this thing is going to cost, and considering we still don't know what the price is yet, now that we know the cost of the next gen boxes, I imagine it's more than they're comfortable with. Number 3, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake announced. Jonathan Dornbush at IGN writes, Ubisoft has announced the return of its long dormant series with Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, following some leaks of the remake earlier this week. Set for release on January 21st, 2021, the Sands of Time remake will cost $39.99 and will be available on PS4, Xbox One, Epic Games Store, and the Ubisoft Store on Windows and Uplay Plus. There will not be a PS5 and Xbox Series X and Series S version of the remake, but it will be playable on next-gen consoles via backwards compatibility. I never played any of the games in the franchise, but I gotta say, slapping the title remake on this and not remaster is disappointing considering to me the game looks really bad. There have been some more screenshots that have come out from the game, so maybe it was just an earlier build, but to me it was not a good first showing. Number 4, Rainbow Six Siege has free next-gen console upgrade, runs at up to 120 frames per second in 4K. Wesley Inpool at Eurogamer writes, Rainbow Six Siege has a free next-gen console upgrade Ubisoft has announced. It means existing players of Ubisoft's hugely popular competitive FPS will be able to get the same PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S version at no extra cost when upgrading within the same family of consoles. The next-gen versions run at up to 120 frames per second and 4K resolution Ubisoft added. The news comes as Rainbow Six Siege's Operation Shadow Legacy season kicks off. This is the one that adds Splinter Cell's Sam Fisher as a playable operator. Fisher is available to Year 5 pass holders now, whereas all other players could unlock him 1 week later with Renown or Rainbow Six credits. I recognize Siege is one of the biggest games out there, it's just not for me. I'm not a fan of the slower paced combat in it, I'm more of a fast Call of Duty run and gun shooter. Number 5, Immortals: Phoenix Rising officially announced, coming in December. Joe Screbbles at IGN writes, Immortals: Phoenix Rising, the game once known as Gods and Monsters, has officially been re-revealed at the second Ubisoft Forward event, and will arrive for Xbox Series X and S, PS5 and PS4, Xbox One, PC, Nintendo Switch, and Stadia on December 3rd. Telling the story of Phoenix, a customizable hero attempting to rescue the Greek mythological pantheon after the escape of Typhon, Immortals looks to cross over some of the action RPG and storytelling elements from Assassin's Creed Odyssey with the free-form open world and bespoke puzzles of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. With the entire game narrated by the bickering duo of Zeus and Prometheus, the open world will be entirely open from the beginning of the game and feature multiple regions to explore. Like I've said on the show, this has got to be one of the worst names for a game ever. Gods and Monsters was perfectly okay, still don't understand the name switch. However, this game does look kind of cool. It is an unabashed and total riff off Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and I did enjoy that game, so maybe more depth to the combat, no weapon degradation, maybe I'll like this game more. Number 6, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War will hold a multiplayer beta next month, Matthew Olson at US Gamer writes. With a new Black Ops on the way, Treyarch and Activision need to put the multiplayer through its paces. That means a beta is on the way with just over 2 months to go until the release of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War on November 13th. It's coming up fast. Starting on October 8th, Cold War will run a multiplayer beta across 2 long weekends for current-gen consoles and PC. The first weekend running from October 8th to the 12th will be limited to PS4 testing. For the first 2 days, it'll only be open to folks who pre-order a digital version of Black Ops Cold War. Then on October 10th, Treyarch will flip a switch and it'll become an open beta. Xbox One, PC, and PS4 players will also get to participate in the second beta period, which runs from October 15th through the 19th. Again, the first 2 days will be set aside for pre-orders, and after that, it's open season. If you want that early beta access but are also planning on playing Black Ops Cold War on PS5, Xbox Series X, or Xbox Series S, you should be able to get in on it. Activision is selling digital cross-gen bundles of Black Ops Cold War at $69.99, the same price that the next-gen versions alone will cost. I have already pre-ordered my cross-gen bundle of Black Ops Cold War. I'm excited to try the multiplayer, but I'm more excited to see how that campaign looks on my shiny Xbox Series X this November. As always, we end our show with a fun fact about Xbox. Now that we know the Xbox Series X and S launch prices this fall, I wanted to go back and do an update to adjust console launch prices for inflation in Xbox's history. All of the following prices are going to be adjusted for inflation. When the Xbox in 2001 launched, it would have costed $438. When the Xbox 360 launched in 2005, it would have costed $529. For the Xbox One in 2013, it would have launched at $555. The Series S, as we know, is going to be $299, and the Series X at $499. I personally find it very interesting to go back and looking at these numbers adjusted for inflation. I think we are getting insane value with both the Series S and X this fall, and have no problem dropping the $499, which may be easier for me to say than other people, but then you should be involved in the Xbox All Access program to get these next-gen boxes at a low $24.99 or $34.99 price a month. Thank you all for listening to the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. If you like the show, please subscribe on your favorite podcast service, share with your friends, and follow on all social media at Xbox in 10. This week I haven't had too much time to game as work has been a little crazy, but I'm excited to finish out Tell Me Why Chapter 3. I've really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. My name is Brandon Rosa. You can follow me on Xbox at Brosa93. I hope you all have a great week, stay safe, and keep on gaming.